Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all doing well, that you're having a lovely week so far. My name's Emily and welcome to MemilyMakes. So today is my May month-end wrap-up video. I don't think it was as productive as April. But it has been a very, very busy month for me in terms of work. I upped my hours and yeah, the excuses, they start coming out. But no, it's been a fun month. It's been a Toft heavy month. You will see that in a moment. No problems with that at all. I love Toft. And as I say, this month feels like it's been more about joy knitting, or joy crochet, I should say, rather than ploughing ahead and getting stuff done. That's fine by me. I mean, that's the reason we do the craft in the first place, is for the joy of it. It's not for how many projects can we get done in a small amount of time. I mean, that's fine, but this month has definitely been a joy month. So let's get started. Finished objects for the month of May. I have 4 finished objects. They are all Toft objects. So they are all crochet. And yeah, I'll just get started, shall I? So the first finished object that I have for you is my mini bluebell. It's the first time I have crocheted a flower monster by Toft, and I absolutely loved this one. The head is actually a hood, so that goes over the top. I wonder if you can, it helps if I, there you go. So that's a hood. It sits on top of his actual head. It's not going to come off though, because that hole is really small, and we stuffed the head once we'd got the hood on. But yeah, I absolutely adore him. I'm going to hold him like that because his head is very heavy. But yeah, that's my first ever flower monster. As I've said before, in July I'm going to a workshop at Kew Gardens with Toft, and I don't know whether they're doing flower monsters or vegetables. I'm not sure if they've moved on to vegetables now, but I will be going to a workshop, so I thought I needed to have a go at a monster, because yeah, it will be something similar, or if it's a vegetable then I've got no hope. But I wanted to kind of get a bit more into the Toft crochet before I go to that workshop. The second item that I finished off in the month of May was this lovely little guy, and he is another flower monster by Toft, and he is the tulip. Tulip is my favourite flower, so I had to do this one, and he's proper cute. I'm really pleased with him. So he obviously goes along with the bluebell. So these are the mini flowers. The actual flower monsters are bigger, but yeah, I was really pleased. So I really enjoyed making them. They didn't take me too long because they are mini, but yeah, that's they. The next finished item that I have for you is the first of my 12 birds of Christmas. I am going to try and get them all done for Christmas. So far so good. Yeah, so far so good. So the first item, the first bird of Christmas is Felix, the red-legged partridge. He does scare my partner, and he does live, at the moment, he does live up here. And my partner looks at him and he's always like, no. But I think it's because of his red eyes. I think that's what scares my partner. I think he's awesome. So that is Felix, and I finished him in the month of May. He was the first, as I say, of the 12 birds of Christmas, and I'm very pleased. I've been really enjoying making the birds. I think he's my first bird as well, so that's very exciting. Quite challenging with all the colour changes. Excuse me. So the fourth and final item that I finished in the month of May was yet again another Toft item, and this is the second bird of Christmas. This is Beatrice, the turtle dove. So as you can see, her colours are a little less in your face, and yeah, a bit more muted, I would say. And yeah, there were quite a few colour changes on her wings, on her tail, and on the back of her neck. But she was so much fun, and I love the way her legs dangle. I'm not entirely sure why Felix's don't dangle the same, but I think it might be because of the length of them, possibly. Could that be why? I'm not entirely sure. But there's a lot more weight to Beatrice's legs, and I really like that. So my 2 birds of Christmas and the 2 flower monsters, all of these were the items. Oh dear, they've got very heavy heads. There we go. So these are the, oh dear. I tell you what, hang on, I think the birds are going to be easier to hold like this. And then these guys like this. There we go. So these are the 4 finished objects for the month of May. So I didn't do too bad really, not too bad, but yes, that's that. So in terms of works in progress, in my previous month ends, I have been touching upon the fact that I'm trying to get my works in progress down. Now, all of those Toft items, they don't count in my my works in progress. I'm keeping, I can do this, I'm keeping gift items, so that would be my Totoro and my Amelia. I am keeping my scrappy projects, so that would be my scrappy, my granny stripe scrappy blanket and my Battenberg blanket. They're not counted either. And then also my Toft items, so at the minute I'm working on Ruth the French hen. That doesn't count either. Yes, that's it. That's as far as I'm getting with things that don't count. So I'm not counting the Toft items because I class them as joy. Not that I don't class the other items as joy, it's just that I'm indulging myself. So yeah, we all get to indulge a little every so often. So they're not counted in the figures that I'm going to be giving you now. Right, so at the end of April's month-end wrap-up video, I was at 8 works in progress. So I'm classing those as my current works in progress, my paused whips, and my problem whips. Problem whips, there's 2. Paused whips, there's, oh my gosh, how many are there? Paused whips, I feel like there's 2. I could be wrong. And then my current whips, so things like the projects that I show you in my weekly podcasts, and also my For Fuck's Sake and my diamond lattice rug. I have not shown those for a while, so they are slowly creeping towards the paused. I might pull out my For Fuck's Sake later and just do a few rows on it, just because I need to finish it. But 8 at the end of April. So I was really pleased with that because that brought me under the double digits. Again, I recognise that that is not a massive number on the grand scale of things. I do know that there are some people out there and some YouTubers out there that have a much higher number. No problem with that. You do you. Whatever works is what is great. I personally, I think I had 19 or 20 works in progress when I started with trying to get my whips down. And that was too much for me personally, because my projects kind of sit around the house and I can see them. So it was bothering me. It's a lot less now, but it's still a little much. So I still would like to get that number down. But I'm not helping myself, basically. So yeah, I think I'm going to, sorry, just clapping. So I think I'm going to still try and keep up with that. I need to finish 2 before I can cast something on, although I have been naughty and cast something on, which we'll get into as I go through these numbers. Yeah, I'm going to try and do that, and I'm also going to try the pulling out a paused whip and working on that for like 30 minutes or something once a week. Yeah, I'm going to see what works. I will still try to get my number down, just because, yeah, I'm getting a few more bags appearing thanks to, you know, these Toft projects and yeah, just in general. So that is my number. Long story short, my number at the end of April was 8. Now, I have added 2 works in progress to that. One of them was because I had finished 2 projects by the end of April, so I was allowed to cast something else on. I do have 1 finished item in the bag, so I do need to finish another finished item. I do need to finish another work in progress before I can cast something on, but I have ignored that in one of these examples. So the first item is my, I have moved everything around, hang on. So the first item that I cast on in May was my Find Your Fade shawl by Andrea Mowry. Again, that one was allowed because that was after finishing 2 projects. Here it is, love it. I am doing, in May, I've done quite a fair amount on it. And I think in me saying I haven't done a lot in May is a bit unfair to myself, because actually when I was writing up all my notes and everything, I completely forgot that I actually cast this on in May. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that progress. I've done really well for the month, in my opinion. But that was the first cast on. The second cast on you will have already seen, because I showed it in, that is if you watch my weekly podcast. If not, you may not have seen, but I did show it in my weekly podcast this week. And it is basically a vanilla sock. So there's no pattern, no designer, it's just here's the sock. Now what I have done is I've done these little slip one, knit one when the colour changes. Would help if I explained why the colour changes. It's because I'm using self-striping yarn, and that is the whole reason that I cast this sock on, is because I really wanted to play with and have a go at self-striping yarn, because I've never used it before. It's been sitting around in my yarn bucket and I've been just really wanting to try it, so that's why I've cast this on. It's experimental knitting, that's what I'm calling it. It's experimental knitting. The yarn is by the Little Grey Girl, and yeah, really loving it. My apologies, I didn't tell you what yarn I'm using for my Find Your Fade. So the yarn I'm using for my Find Your Fade, I mean, it is all documented and mentioned in my weekly podcast, but just in case you don't watch my weekly podcast, this yarn is all by West Green Loft Yarn. So I've got many single skeins. I've got many single skeins. We can do this. I have many single skeins of yarn by West Green Loft Yarns throughout the years, because I absolutely adore her yarn. And yeah, they've just been sitting around, and I thought this project was perfect for it all. So that is a very brief overview, but it is West Green Loft Yarns that I'm using for that. So that is, long story short, 2 cast-ons in the month of May. One was allowed, one is just an experimental cast-on, so it's all good. But I'm counting it anyway. I've got a really itchy nose. Right, so 8 at the end of April, 2 cast-ons in the month of May. That gives me 10 works in progress at the end of May, because today is the 31st of May, so I'm classing it as May is done, basically. So yeah, 10. I'm still all right with that. I'm still okay with that. As I say, I am going to resist casting things on. In fact, I've just noticed something I have forgot. So bear with me just one moment. My apologies. I really thought I was prepared, but clearly not. That now brings us to my plans for June. Now, June is going to be a very, very strange month for me, purely because I have 2 holidays. One of them is next week, or this week actually, because today is technically Saturday when you will be seeing this video. So this week I will be away, and I'm going camping in France. So I am not going, sorry, it's all right, I put something down and it's just slipped off whatever it was on. My apologies. So yes, I'm going to be camping in France. It's not going to be the ideal situation for sitting and knitting. I mean, it would be great because basically I will be sitting and watching a 24-hour motor race, so a 24-hour motor car race. Yeah, I will just be sitting and watching it. But I will be with friends, I'll be with family. It's going to be wild, because it always is. It's always very, very crazy. So ideally I'd love to bring something with me, like maybe I could bring these with me, because they are vanilla socks. There's no pattern. I haven't got to lug a pattern around with me. The only thing I would lug around with me other than the sock are the scissors to snip the yarn once I get to an end, or when like I finish the sock. Maybe a darning needle to sew it in, although I could always do that when I get back, although I still need the needles. Yeah, I'm trying to think this through as I go, but this would be an ideal project. The problem with that is because, again, we are camping, there will be a lot of fire, so it will take on the smell of the fires, basically. And I believe it's going to be raining quite a bit as well, so it's not like I can just pull it out in the rain and knit. and there's not a lot of shelter, as I say, because we are camping. We will go trackside, and we will go to the paddock. So the paddock is like where you go to kind of just mingle and look at all the race teams. All their vans are parked up. You just walk up and down that. You can also go on the pit lane before the race. Yeah, so it's not, you can go in a grandstand, but that we can only go in the grandstand before the race. I'm really digressing. Anyway, so knitting, I could probably take these, but I'm not sure, because I think, one, I'll be too distracted, and two, there's too many factors like the smoke, the smell of the smoke. I don't want that in the project. And yeah, I could probably take it for car knitting. I might take it for car knitting, yeah, because then at least I've got a project. It'll feel weird not having one. Anyway, this week probably won't get a lot done, basically. And then the following week I'll be home, and then the week after that I will be away again. But that one's slightly different, because we will be in the Lake District, so we will be staying at a house. But throughout the day we'll be out and about, enjoying the day. In the evenings we'll be just celebrating, enjoying, because it is my dad's birthday. Very excited. And yeah, so I could take projects with me. I probably will take projects with me then, probably for working on in the morning, because I wake up about 5:30 in the morning. My dad usually wakes up very early too, so it'll probably just be me and my dad just chilling, waiting for everyone else to get up, basically. But yeah, and then in the evening there will probably be a lot of celebrating. So I don't know in terms of productivity during the month of June, but I do have plans. Whether they will happen, as I say, I don't know. One of the plans is a carry forward from last month. In fact, I think I keep carrying it forward because I don't know why, I just haven't cast it on yet, but I really want to. So the first item that I want to cast on in June is my Pink Fizz by Andrea Mowry. It is a stunning pattern. It is beautiful. I have all the yarn here. In fact, here it is. It is a Debbie Bliss Rialto 4-ply, 100% superwash. Superwash? Yeah, 100% superwash merino. That's this lovely pink one here. And then I also have Drops Kid Silk, which is this one here. So I have everything I need. All the quantities I've checked. I'm ready to go. I just haven't cast it on yet. So yeah, hopefully June. Hopefully June. I really do hope. So that is one project I would like to cast on in the month of June. Another project that I will be casting on, I know I'll be doing this throughout the month of June, but it will be no surprise. It is the 12 Birds of Christmas. I'm going to carry on with those. I will finish Ruth, and then I will cast on Peter the Blackbird. Hopefully he'll be a nice easy one to do, hopefully. And maybe I can do Lydia the Goose. Is Lydia the Goose the next one? No, she's not. Gilbert the Pheasant is the next one. So hopefully him as well. So I don't know. Maybe. I'll see how far I get. But I will still be doing those. Next, what I also would like to cast on is another crochet project, but I want to start, as I've said many, many times, I want to step up my crochet game. And to step up the crochet game, I decided that I wanted to make a project out of this book, which is Modern Sweaters by, I'm covering her name, my apologies. Modern Crochet Sweaters by Janine Miska. Now, if you're interested in crochet sweaters, this book is amazing. I highly recommend it. It's absolutely stunning. Bear in mind, I haven't made a pattern. I haven't crocheted anything from this book yet, but I have a very strong feeling it's going to be amazing. I just want to do all the projects. I really do. It's absolutely stunning. But my crochet garment skills aren't what they should be, I feel anyway. I have tried to make a long cardigan that's by All About Amy. I think it's the Rosewood cardigan, I think. And I did try to make that. I've got all the yarn for that, but I failed miserably. Purely because I think I crocheted too tight. I have new hooks that help me crochet a lot looser. And yeah, I feel like I am ready. So I'm going to try and crochet this lovely, this lovely sweater. It looks stunning. and it is called the Sacred Woods sweater. It's a side split sweater. See if I've got another, I know you can actually see the side split there. So there's a lovely high side split here. It looks like quite a summery, maybe towards the end of summer kind of sweater. So I really want to give that a go. I have all the yarn. It is here. Here we are. Now I have chosen paint box yarns. There we go. Wool blended worsted, and it is 25% wool, 75% acrylic. Just because I've got the ball to hand, that is the shade number. It does have it does have a colour name on the website, so I got it from Lovecrafts. It does have a colour name on the website, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, that is the shade. It's beautiful. It's like a petrol blue kind of colour. Stunning. Or a denim, if you will. Stunning. So I'm going to try and cast that on and have a go with that. That will be like experimental kind of stuff. I don't know. But yeah, I really want to cast that on. What I went over there for is I completely forgot that at the weekend I actually wound up these lovely skeins of yarn into cakes with the anticipation of casting this project on. Now these colours are, I absolutely adore these colours. These are from Boscastle Yarn, and Tanya's shop is on Etsy. She does absolutely stunning colourways. This one I believe is called Gorse and Granite. Beautiful. This one, I'm going to have to pull it out because I always forget what it's called, is Valency Valley. Beautiful. Look at those shades in there. So beautiful. And then the final colour is called Crowdy, and it is a Surrey alpaca, I believe. Is it Surrey alpaca? Yes, it is. Surrey alpaca. And it's beautiful colour. Now, these three, the reason I'm holding them together like this is because it was a kit for an Andrea Mowry pattern. And that pattern, let me take it out of the shiny packet. I always put them in A4. I print my patterns off and put them in A4 wallets. Just a thing. So those three were a kit for this lovely pattern by Andrea Mowry. It is the Rad Plaid Cowl by Andrea Mowry, as you can see. So it utilises the Surrey alpaca and two different colours, I believe. I've not read the pattern, no surprise, yet again. But absolutely lovely. And as soon as I saw these colours on Boscastle Yarn, I was more than sold, basically, because I've been eyeing her yarn up for quite some time. But those are caked up, they're ready to go. A cowl shouldn't take too long, as she says. But yeah, I'd like to cast this on in June. I really would. So that's that one. The other one, another one that I have all the yarn for, and that I would quite like to cast on in June, is, I'm getting a bit ambitious here, this lovely wrap. And it's called April Snow Wrap, and it's by Andreas Ruthman. That's that. Beautiful wrap, and I'm super excited to try it out. And it looks like where it is basically intentional pooling, I believe. I think that's what it's called. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll show you the yarn, shall I? I bought the yarn, so I'm ready to go with this as well. I've got so many projects I'm ready to go with, I just haven't cast on. The yarn is by, let me grab one, is by Zakami. So Zakami Yarns, another great UK dyer. And yeah, look, there you go, you can see. There is a very intentional splotch of pooling. So obviously, if I take that off, the majority of the yarn is one colour, and then there is a block of colour. So from what I can see in the wrap, it is, I think you change your stitch. So I believe it's garter stitch, and then when you get to these pooled colour sections, it changes to maybe a stockinette stitch. I think it gives you different options in the pattern. So like you could do a bobble or something when you get to that colour change. But that is that. So I have 3 of these, and I have this lovely colour as the contrast to go with. So I think they are going to be absolutely stunning. So as I say, I have 3 of this colour, 1 of this colour, non-superwash merino. I've never used non-superwash merino before. It's super soft, lovely. So that will be kind of another experimental knit. But yeah, I really want to do it. It's beautiful. And as I say, I have the yarn, I have the pattern. So I just need to crack on. Sorry for the crinkle there. I also have some yarn for another pattern. I haven't got the pattern yet, so I can't show you, and I can't remember the name of it. But the yarn is stunning and I cannot wait to play with it. So this is that yarn. I think you'll possibly remember me buying this. So this is 5 50-gram mini skeins of yarn by, there we go, Woolly Mama yarns. I should have took it out the packet, my apologies. There we go, by Woolly Mama yarns. Highly recommend checking her out as well. Another UK dyer. I realise I shouldn't talk when I'm crinkling, my apologies. Another UK dyer, absolutely fantastic. I love her yarn. And this set, I just, oh yeah, I love it so much. And I really want to find either the pattern that she'd, because she had it was during when I went to Yorkshire Yarn Fest. Here we go. Back in March when I went to Yorkshire Yarn Fest, that's where I saw this. Well, I saw it afterwards and panicked because I didn't buy it. She'd sold out, but then she dyed some more, so yay. Anyway, on her stand, she had a shawl that was knit up in these colourways, or crocheted, I can't remember which. I think it was knit. And yeah, I saw that photo after Yorkshire Yarn Fest and fell in love. So I will try and do it in that, do these colours for that shawl. But as I say, I don't have the pattern yet and I can't remember the name of it, so I'll have to dig through her Instagram. But yeah, I really want to use these as well, so put those down. So I've got a lot that I really want to do in June. I don't think it's going to happen in June, but I have a lot of projects that I really want to crack on with and do. And I think when I do these month-end wrap-ups and I go through this section, I get very excited about all the, I mean, I'm just surrounded by yarn and patterns right now. I'm very, very excited. So it kind of reinvigorates me, if you will. As I say, some of them will happen in June, but again, as I say, June is going to be a massively busy month for me, and I'm going to be away for most of it. So whether any of these get started, I don't know, but those are my plans. They may carry forward into July, which again is perfectly fine. I'm not going to stress about it. It's just nice to bring all of this out, show you, remind myself, and yeah, I mean, it's just fun and it's nice. And I think that some of these projects you may or may not have seen before. In terms of the patterns, you may or may not have seen the patterns that I've shown, and you may think, oh, I quite like that pattern. So hope that's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping that I can show you something that really inspires you or thinks, yes, I want to have a go at that pattern, or I want to have a look at that dyer. Yeah, it's one of those things. And equally, I'm open to any suggestions in the comments. Please feel free to drop any comments. I welcome it highly. And I love hearing from you all. I love hearing how you're doing. I love hearing what you're working on. So please let me know what you're working on. I love that. And it also inspires me to know what you're working on, because you may be working on something that I've never heard of, and I find out that I actually really want to make it. So please just feel free to comment away. I do try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. It's just, yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, I need to post more often on Instagram. I don't. I'm a bit funny with social media. I don't know why. I really don't know why, but I don't post anywhere near as often as I should. I know that, I recognise that, and I will do my best to get better at that. But as I say, my YouTube videos will be here to stay, and I will do my best to get back to you in the comments when I can. So, that being said, that is everything for my wrap-up video for May. I hope that you enjoyed, and yeah, I hope you have an absolutely amazing rest of the week and the following week, Yeah, I will see you again. You will see me again on Thursday this week, and I will be back with the weekly podcast the week after that. So yeah, I can't remember what date it is, my apologies, but yes, you will have a video each week as normal. So have an absolutely amazing rest of the weekend, rest of the week, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.